Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My friends, it's time for some Saturday morning React-TOONS featuring Robotech, specifically episode 45, Metal Fire. You all know that I'm a fan of Robotech Masters and I can't wait to see where this episode goes, so wait no longer, we shall, my friends. But before we get started, if you could do me a huge favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and it allows me to alert you next time we go live with Robotech. And of course, if there's anything that we do, Robotech included, that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description, my friends. But all that is then, this is now, and now it's time for Robotech, the Master Saga, episode 45, Metal Fire. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go! Fanfare! We're trying to switch things up. Trying to do things differently. And equally awful. It's a tough sell. It's a recipe I'm perfecting. And I think I have all the principal people down as far as, their names. Ranks, that's another story. But I think I have, 8 episodes, or going to be 8 episodes into it now. I'm thinking that I have most of the folks down. So we'll see. He says right before he gets all of them wrong. And if I sound like I'm underwater, it's because I sort of am. I've been outside raking leaves here in the fall, and my allergies have informed me they are none too happy with my activities. So I apologize, everyone, for sounding like I am underwater. I always love that circle that the hover tank does. The Battleoid, I guess I should say.
Culminating in the actual capture of a Bioroid during their daring escape.
Awesome.
15 squads' observations supported the belief that the Robotech Masters had come to Earth in search of the last known supply of protoculture.
Right.
Recon ship. Maintain present altitude and set your video cameras to auto-record.
Wow, that's pretty close for recon.
This is headquarters. I read you loud and clear. We're over the enemy vessel now.
I mean, it's down, but it's not out.
The Robotech Masters are desperately trying to recover the last known production matrix. Their initial attempts are taken as serious threats by the Army of the United Earth Forces.
I wonder why.
You can't always tell from the way someone looks. Remember the Zentradi? They look like my next-door neighbor. But that didn't make them human, did it?
Alrighty.
They look just like us. If they come out of that ship, believe me, they're alien.
Well, that's not always the case.
How can I shoot at people who might very well be my own relatives?
Lieutenant, I don't mean to interrupt.
Boom, 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 boom. Damn, Angelo.
I suppose you think we should shoot every alien on sight, huh? Would that make you happy?
Well, we'd be a lot safer, ma'am. And I don't think anybody on their side's going to hesitate to fire at us. If you're tied up, who'll command the patrol?
I guess since you're the ranking subordinate, you take charge, Angelo.
I'm ready, ma'am. Okay, move out.
You can trust me to do everything by the book.
The girl who captured Bowie's interest is Musica, the guardian of the powerful cosmic harp.
Musica? Like it.
Musica is assisted in her duties by her 2 clone sisters, Allegra and Octavia.
Octavia? I don't trust Octavia.
They find themselves in a desperate situation. The secrets of protoculture production have been lost with the passing of Zor, who first created it. Now, the Robotech elders are forced into confrontation as a final alternative.
So everything's like a trio of clones?
Protoculture matrix hidden on Earth before their civilization literally collapses around them.
Cool.
Most of the damage is isolated to the reflex power modules, and the Micronians will probably attack again. We should escalate our combat profile.
It was never our intention to destroy the Micronians or harm their planet.
I knew it.
The true threat to both our races is the parasitic invid who will come in search of the protoculture themselves.
I knew that they weren't. I mean, no hostile moves were made by the Masters.
Since you two captured the Bioroid, I wanted you to act as witnesses.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's cool.
Controlled by biological stimuli, the origin of which is uncertain at this time. However, we think that this module here acts as a control device.
Like a remote control for...
These should act like some sort of a muscle.
Watch out, Louis! I think it's going to attack us!
Don't worry, Lieutenant. It's not going anywhere.
That's Louis.
Huh?
I've wrapped these wires around my forearm, and when I flex my muscle, it responds.
Huh?
Jesus. Everybody out of the room. Louis, let Louis with this thing.
It is then connected to the pilot, and when he transmits an order from his brain, the bioroid reacts exactly the same way.
But doesn't have to ride in it.
Then this bioroid is an extension of its pilot?
Mm-hmm. We believe their circuits have been biogenetically imprinted in a way we don't understand.
It's pretty incredible. I wonder if there's a way to use the technology.
That means the pilots would have to be living beings too, or the machine wouldn't respond to them. But I thought the pilot we captured was an artificial android.
Whew.
Well, considering what we know about the basic design, I'd say the most effective method would be to destroy the control mechanism.
Interrupt the signal? Because they don't have pilots in them, right?
No, sir, I was too wrapped up in strategy and battle tactics.
Louis?
Let me think back. I got in a couple of direct hits.
Nice.
The black box from the bioroid must have kept track of the damage incurred during the battle.
You're probably right, Corporal.
He probably?
Display the damage sections individually, please. I think I'm right.
Would you mind being more specific?
He's working with a theory.
I see. They're unaffected by direct hits unless you can destroy the cockpit.
Then the cockpit is where we should direct our attack.
Nice. They can keep fighting.
You can't do that. If you issue those orders and destroy the bioroids, you'll also destroy the pilots.
That should be obvious.
Yeah.
Bioroids react to living stimuli.
Come to think of it, what do we really know about the captured pilot?
Only that he received some serious wounds.
Oh, okay. So they do. Okay. So there is a pilot.
Did something happen to him?
Yes. He stopped functioning an hour ago.
What?
Yes, sir. The autopsy's done.
Come along, Lieutenant Sterling. I want you to hear this.
Sir.
I'm going to rip someone's ass.
If I came to, sir?
No.
Yeah, Louis, you know everything about him.
Sir.
Oh, that sucks.
Weapons controlled by programmed androids. How are we supposed to fight against that?
Louis figures everything out. Get back to your squad.
And who's this officer you brought with you?
She's the commander of the 15th Squadron who were responsible for the capture of the bioroid.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know nothing about your troops?
First of all, we found something remarkable inside the pilot's body. He was a very advanced android with some kind of bioelectric device implanted in his solar plexus. We can only describe it as an artificial soul.
What?
These aliens, or at least their clones, are nothing less than a barbaric strain of micronized Entrati who were scattered throughout the universe. Only now they've returned to wreak havoc upon the inhabitants of this planet.
Wait, what? How the hell did you get that from that?
My observations are completely documented. What proof do you have to back up your absurd proposition?
Because I looked at them.
After all, in the heat of battle, one is often mistaken.
No. Why do you refuse to accept the possibility I might be right?
Because that makes me wrong.
Eve.
You're fools if you refuse to hear me out.
There you go, Dana.
Guards, remove this insubordinate immediately.
Perhaps we should listen to her.
I haven't got the time for her disruptions.
Now that I've removed all obstacles from my assholery.
It looks like I'll be leading the patrol today.
Yes, I heard. We were notified Lieutenant Sterling was called away to a meeting.
Really? They decided to matriculate that down to you guys?
So long.
Good luck, Lieutenant.
10-cent wings.
What?
Huh? Isn't that Lieutenant Sterling's tank?
Yep, that's her.
Hold up there!
Angelo.
Lieutenant, we discovered the relay switch we thought was a control device is actually some kind of sonic frequency receiver.
A what?
If you can disrupt the...
You mean they're not controlled by the pilots at all?
Well, I'm sure they can be, but not like we thought. It looks like some kind of higher intelligence may be at work by remote control.
I'm getting confused because in my mind I have it where the blues are like controlled by somewhere else. They're not piloted, and the red one is piloted.
If these aliens possess any human qualities, then we should try to negotiate. Fighting can't be the only alternative.
Well, surely you don't believe that we could ever come to terms with a group of barbarians like them?
I mean, the Zentradi?
Even if we could negotiate, we'd be doing it from a position of weakness, not strength, and that would be fatal.
Oh my God, this guy.
Will there be anything else from you, General?
No, Supreme Commander, not now.
How did this guy even get this job? I'm an idiot. Put me in... Well, I just answered my own question. Idiots always fall upward.
Are the shields still functional?
We estimate a functional capacity of only 20%.
We will kidnap some of the Micronians and subject them to a Xylonic mental probe to determine whether or not we can turn them into pilots.
Wow.
Red alert! Red alert! The aliens are attacking! Stand by alert to all sections immediately! Yes, sir.
So they need humans to act as the conduit, I guess. They're going to go through this and see if they can, wow.
Responds with lightning quickness as it prepares to defend Earth's cities and bases.
The Army of the Southern Cross. So cool. I always think it's cool every time I hear it.
Let them have it!
If that's all you have, you all are in big trouble.
There are too many of them to hold off, sir. I've already notified Command Central.
Everyone into their fighters now! Move it! Let's go.
Holy smokes. That was a way to mount up.
Don't shoot directly at their cockpits. We might be able to capture one.
Louis is like the voice of reason. He's the Cassandra that no one is listening to. Like, this is the way to do it, everybody. For fuck's sake. Unheeded warnings. Damn. Jeez. After every hit, we lose like 3 fighters.
It looks like there's more than we can handle, Lieutenant.
Disable the bioroids without harming the pilots. There must be.
Gotta interrupt the signal. Jam it. Look to see if they have some type of craft that's projecting the signal. Like in Battlestar Galactica, they had those resurrection ships that were close enough to, get the downloads. Look to see if there's something similar to a transmission. My God, they don't have enough bioroids to attack? I think that's bullshit. Come here. That's actually a good representation of how big these are compared to a human.
Hey, Louie, have you got any bright ideas?
Yeah, I do.
But nobody listens to him.
Just what are you up to, Lieutenant?
Shoot at their legs and put them out of commission.
Oh, that's a good compromise.
All Veritechs, change to Battloid mode.
Here we go. I just love the ground warfare. In and out of the alleyways. Oh, it's so cool.
I thought the pilots were androids.
Yeah, so did I. What's going on?
They're living beings, I know it.
Why is everybody questioning? Follow orders.
Whether they're cloned androids or live aliens, they're still shooting at us.
I mean, Angelo, I get it, but for the only way to have this thing stop. Now, the cool thing would be if they had one of the 15th get captured and turned into a bioroid pilot.
They're retreating.
Like, that would be badass. Like, if Louis got captured.
I got you, Lieutenant. Hang on.
Listen, you're gonna have to kill some of them. If they're stealing humans, you've got to take them out one way or the other. Woo!
Well, there they go. I wonder what they're planning to do with all those hostages.
That's a good question, Sergeant.
Yeah.
Replace all the bioroids that just got killed.
Who's to say if we had tried to sit down and reason with them, the results would have been any different? We may have prevented a worse disaster.
That's the way I'm going to think about it.
Over 200 citizens have been kidnapped, sir.
I see. In the official report, list them as casualties of the battle.
Yes, sir.
What? What an absolute dickhead. Somebody told me online. I'll tell you, I hadn't thoughts.
It is a war which will challenge the very core of the society which has rebuilt itself from the ashes of devastation.
I love the narrator. All right, everybody, we just got done watching a Robotech, the Master Saga, episode 45, Metal Fire. And the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everyone, we just got done watching a Robotech, the Master Saga, the 45th episode, Metal Fire. I wanted to say this real quick because at the end, the Supreme Commander guy was talking and, his normal assholery. Just real quick with him. Obviously, he's our foil for this season because we already had a reveal in episode 8 of the Saga 45 of the overall series. We already had the reveal that the Robotech Masters don't really want conflict whatsoever. They're defending themselves. I speculated that from the beginning whenever they appeared and didn't attack, and then we did, like, we've got to defend ourselves, attack. This entire war seems to me like poor leadership decisions, and predominantly the Supreme Commander's poor leadership decisions. He's gotten hundreds of thousands of people killed. It makes you wonder, like, how in the hell did somebody like that rise to power? And I'm sure it's fleshed out more in the peripheral material, which leads me to this. One of you all said something so funny, and I was kind of struggling. I would actually looked for the comment and I couldn't find it, so I apologize, because this was a really great comment that one of you made in description of the Supreme Commander and like the additional information that you get in the novels specifically. And it was so great because I forget who it was, but thank you so much, told me that in the novels, the Supreme Commander is even more obnoxious and even more of an a-hole, but my man likes to be dominated by a Zentradi dominatrix. And the question that I have, if you're watching, oh, thank God, the commenter who's watching, I'll definitely give you credit if you, but please let me know who it is. Great comment too. But here's my question. When you said that it was a Zentradi dominatrix, immediately, and I forgot, I was in the middle of doing something and I forgot to put this as a response to the comment. I need to know this answer. Is it a micronized Zentradi or a full-size Zentradi? Because that's a whole different thing. Anywho, about this guy, what a complete moron. So he's obviously our foil for this. He's going to be, we're just going to have this asshole in charge who is going to lead us. It's going to perpetuate the war that didn't need to, right? And which that's fine with me. We have to have the tension and the aggression continue throughout this series, or it doesn't make sense. I mean, we did it with the Zentradi and then pockets of resistance, but I don't think we really have that with the Masters, in that there's not a secondary force coming from the Masters. They're talking about the Invid now. The Invid I actually have a little bit of experience with from Sentinels, and I know that a lot of people have said, you should have waited, man. You should have waited until after you've watched the whole thing to watch Sentinels, because it ruins the reveal of the Invid. Actually, I mean, to be very, very fair, I already knew about the Invid from a couple comments from back in the Macross saga. And it was completely harmless and it was completely benign. No one did it to, be an a-hole or anything like that. There was a conversation chain, and basically it was like, oh, we've got the Zentradi in Macross, we've got the Masters in Southern Cross, and then we have in New Dimension, we have the Invid. So I knew that name, and I realized that they were an enemy force even before watching Sentinels. But I appreciate everybody saying, "Oh man, you might have ruined something for yourself." That's the type of protection that this old guy needs, is somebody to be like, "No, don't do that." And I love you all for it so much. I meant the world to me. Everybody was like, "No, don't do that, don't do that." Again, in my mind, I didn't have anything ruined for me. But now, we have a kind of a similar situation to Macross, in that I always said that, diplomacy, we know that Bretai and Exodor were absolutely open to, they weren't, thugs or barbarians. They were intelligent commanders. And we see that in the end, they were able to absolutely understand, negotiate, come to terms, all that great stuff that happens with diplomacy. And I think we're in a similar arc with this one with the Master Saga, Southern Cross, but I think it's going to be kind of a flip. It's where we're going to be the aggressors. Like, we're not certain, like, we don't reach out, we're playing the role of the Zentradi in Macross, where it's just like, no, get them out of here. No, there's only one way to finish this. Let's just do this and, be on our way, and or defend our home in our aspect. But so that's fine. That's the conflict kind of catalyst. That's great. That worked well for me, actually, as far as like a bookend or a mirror or a parallel, which blows my mind that they're able to get some of these parallels to work with completely separate properties that are just kind of like snowball mashed together. Just a hell of a job, really, to like write this. I sort of take it for granted every once in a while, and then it just hits me like a lightning bolt. Like, they really did a good job with this. And I think that that's, it continues to amaze, and that's the good thing about it. Louis' character is super duper cool. I love the idea of this like grunt tank driver who is just smart as a whip and able to figure out all this shit. Like, no, maybe we do that. No, it's some type of projection stimulus. And then true to form, whenever it's like, oh, hey, Louis figured everything out. And they're like, should we bring Louis with us? And they're like, no, get back to your squad. Like, F you. You might have some answers, but we still see you as a tank driver. That's one of the most realistic things that's happened in this cartoon. And so I couldn't enjoy that anymore because, yes, should Louis be recognized for all of that? Absolutely. Is it a better story if he isn't? Absolutely. Because that makes all of us frustrated. And that's what you want to evoke emotion. You want to be able to get us in Louis' camp, get us with the 15th, get us going, So I think that was a really cool little thing. It really helps to, build up Louis' character. And they're doing such a great job with building out the whole 15th. I love that. I love that. Now, and again, I have no clue if something like this were to happen, but I really, really like the idea that, they're going around capturing humans to kind of reconfigure them to see if they're kind of compatible with their tech, I guess, and put them in as and again, someone help me out here. And I know many people have said this before, and I guess I'm just not absorbing it, if you can believe that. But with the blue bioroids in my mind, I'm like, okay, so they don't have like a human inside them, but they're being kind of like remote controlled by a human somewhere else. Okay, so that was my original theory. I've switched that up now, and I assume that whether it's a android with a soul box or whatever it is, something living is inside every bioroid to control its functions. So that's what I'm going with now. I just thought that they were kind of like the blues were remote operated, and the red was kind of I don't want to say the hive mind kind of, but I kind of felt that way, that it was the one that was controlling the others. It was the control unit, but obviously that's not correct either. So it's interesting. I know we have blues, reds, and I think we had greens that appeared like as almost like the inside the ship fighters, not necessarily like excursionary force people. They were inside the ship whenever we infiltrated. The greens were anyway. So it's all interesting. It's all very interesting. And I'm super curious about, so I guess even with the clones, even with the ones that we saw, like, what's her name? Musica? It's a cool Musica, Allegra, and Octavia. I joked about Octavia not trusting her because I don't know if anybody's watched my Expanse reactions. In season 1, there's a character named Octavia who I erroneously didn't trust the entire time she was on the screen, and I had paranoid delusions and all kinds of crazy stuff. So I was convinced in a weird way. If you've ever been there, and this is a tangent, if you've ever been there where you reading a book or watching a show and you've absolutely convinced yourself that this character is to be felt about a specific way, like, I hate this character because they did this, and then you find out they didn't do that, but you still hate the character. That's where I am. It's like Octavia in The Expanse is somebody that I never trusted. I thought she's absolutely a liar, double agent, blah, blah, blah. And it was revealed that no, she wasn't. She was absolutely earnest in just about everything that she did. And I still don't trust her because my mind is just like, nope, we can't do that. Don't you remember? And I'm like, well, that was wrong. And my mind goes, I don't care. I still hate her. So, I don't trust her. But anyway, I digress. But Robotech I really like what they're doing, but what I would like to see with this kind of capturing of the humans, capture one of our 15th, capture Louis, capture Angelo, capture Phillips, capture Bowie, bring somebody in and turn them into a pilot that is then forced to fight the 15th. That would be a badass story arc. Now, again, I'm sure they're going to decide to do something way cooler than that. I would like to see that. I would like, not necessarily where they're completely like lobotomized and you don't really know where they are, but like that they're aware, but they are compelled to fight, or they're like hypnotized into thinking they're the enemy, or something like that, where we've got, like 15th v 15th. That would be some cool shit. Oh, friends, but you know what? The only thing we can do now is kind of focus our attention on the problem at hand and where we're going with this, because so far, so great with the Southern Cross. Friends, that's about all the time that we have. If you could do me a huge favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, or ring that bell for notifications. Like I said, it greatly helps out a small channel like mine, and it allows me to alert you so you can join me on the virtual couch and we can sit down and watch some Saturday morning React-TOONS. But now it's time to say goodbye, my friends, unfortunately. So where should we say goodbye from? Well, I say we say goodbye from, F it, the cockpit of one of these bioroids, so we can prove once and for all that they are in fact manned by somebody. But again, who knows if I'm right or not, or whether this is a dream or not, or whether or not I should trust Octavia. Friends, until we meet again, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.